So this is awkward. I wanted to make a video about the impeachment stuff. I was just going to talk about it because, it's a matter of it being a law and order situation. And, people often are like, well, you want to investigate us? We should investigate Hillary. We should investigate Obama. Well, one, you did do that. Two, go for it. I think we should have a war crimes tribunal and try every president going back to fucking George Washington, who'd be the only one not convicted probably, and including all the dead ones. Try them in while they're in the grave. All of them. We need law and order. I mean, these people, these Republicans that say, "Oh, we're not a democracy." They're saying we're a republic. We're a land of law and order. The Bill of Rights protects minorities and whatnot. When you become the majority party of the president, there's still other parties' representatives in government, not just the federal, but also state and everywhere else. So they're still there, and they still also have democratically empowered discretion and powers, like oversight of Congress on the president. You don't get to just say, oh, hey, I'm the president. All of the judges that have ever been appointed by the other side, they don't count. That would be this pure democracy thing that people are like, oh, well, I don't understand it. Understand democracy. We need to have law and order. I really don't care about the politics of it. Um, I don't think that parties should just be, impeaching every president, but if they did, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Sometimes they'd try. It's like I've played Hearts. Hearts is like a Trump game, like Spades, Trump. Um, but you're trying to lose um, hearts. Hearts isn't the Trump card. You're trying to throw hearts away. And so if you get a heart, it gives you a point and you don't want points, but there's this thing you can do where you get all of the hearts plus the Queen of Spades special card, and you've got all the points, and then you don't get 26 points, you get negative 26. It's called shooting the moon. And I played with people that try to shoot the moon every time, and they ruin the game. And every once in a while they get it because, oh, maybe the cards or the luck, or you were so pissed you didn't pay attention. But it ruins the game. I'm trying to shoot the moon every fucking time. Some people just try to do that. Just every fucking time. They just push it as far as they can every fucking time. Right? The answer to that is level headed law and order. Yeah, maybe they get away with it sometimes. Why? Well, because they were shooting the moon and it was legal. They just did a bunch of legal stuff to do it. They're not like I got to do something and I'm going to make sure it's illegal. No, I'm going to do whatever I want. And then other times they do it and it's illegal and they should be prosecuted for that. Some people it ends up being more always illegal than not. So I was going to talk about that, the law and order aspect, and the fact that Democrats are useless. I'm not a Democrat any more than I'm a Republican. I just am more likely to vote for a Democrat because at least they were good students, believe in science, and you can pressure them with ordinary political measures like, public protest and letters to the editors. They're not just psychotic, don't believe in science, shitbags. That's not to say 60% of them aren't corrupt and taking money and that kind of corruption, but you could still catch them and pressure them. And when they think they're about to be caught, they're like, oh, I'm going to clean up my act for a while. The Republicans are just like, oh, whatever. I'm going to have the Saudis come stay at my own hotel, and I'm going to have my son go make a deal with the Chinese. And I'm going to, it's just fucking ridiculous. He needs to be impeached. Use it or lose it. You have oversight. The reason the president can't be indicted, which is bullshit, but okay, I understand there is semi-legit reasoning about that based on the fact that Congress can do it. And then if you say, well, Congress can't do it either, you got to have a good reason. I mean, the courts aren't going to uphold that, but they will slow it down. And so the Democrats have to do this. It's stupid. Pelosi. This is why, if you remember, I said I didn't want Pelosi to be the leader because she's weak like this about things like this. You can't say it's the worst thing ever, but we're not going to do it unless a private company does an opinion poll of a tiny few thousand Americans and says, hey, they want it. Well, that's not scientific enough for me. If you could poll 90% of the people in America, maybe it would be okay to say, well, we're going to see what the people think. But you don't have that kind of a measure, and the people are waiting to decide what they think based on what you do. If you want to impeach, yeah, you got to make a plan to make impeachment popular, but you can't do that plan first. You've got to make that plan, act on impeachment because you think it's the right thing because you're the sheriff in town, and it takes a sheriff if that's what you believe. If you don't, fucking fine. I think we need one. Either you do or don't. Don't fucking say we need a sheriff, but we got to wait till the public says. No, you don't need to wait for the public as the sheriff when you've seen a crime that it's you're the only person with the jurisdiction. You're the controlling authority. Right? So this interpretation that the DOJ has had, this memo of you can't really indict him and make a big bunch of crises and who's going to and he's the boss of the bottom. It's all based on Congress is supposed to be that sheriff. That's the controlling authority of the president. And yeah, if the Congress gets pissed off at the president, it could be about anything. Even just like, he called us names. He said my mom wears boots. That, whatever. If they get pissed off enough, they have the discretion to impeach him. And if the Senate, they would convict him. But if the Senate is not going to convict him, they still have to have a trial. Both sides get to give their evidence. It's in public, like in these days, literally on TV. That is the process, how this works. If the president pisses off the Congress, now if he does crimes and stuff, yeah, the Congress can go, well, he pissed me off, but he didn't really do a crime. They can use whatever standard they want, with the exception of if there is a crime or a misdemeanor or, a violation of the Constitution or the spirit of the Constitution, then they do have to do it. If they think one of those things happened, they don't have an option. They can't say, I think that happened, but let's see what the people that don't have that discretion. No, the people elected you. You get the discretion. They actually don't get in our system the discretion of it. You can wonder what they think. But if you end up looking at the evidence and saying those things have happened, then you have to do it. Unfortunately, I can't really talk about all of this though, because I was thinking about when my daughter passed away, and I had made a video, and I remember making a video, but I don't remember what I said. And I probably made more than one. I think I revealed the whole thing later, that she died of an opiate overdose. And there's tons of details I haven't revealed. Don't ever really plan to, um, but it could happen too. But I just want to see that video, and so I saw a bunch of other videos. Like To Be Serious made me a video. Um, Warbles made this video. I was just crying for an hours, um, because of all this. Because I said about that I want to see my video. And Gary, I haven't watched his yet because reasons. And Forever Films is such a sweetheart. I really just love her. I think she's a great soul, and this was great, Earl. And I think about this every day, and I wake up with it. Um, I take this long shower every morning, and because this house we bought it has regular sized tub, but it's a whirlpool, so it's regular. It's actually in a way a little smaller than a regular size because there's a little bit of room for the pipes. Pretty much regular size, and it's got a glass wall, and I have bought some suction cup things so I could get the water to spray down in a mist. And basically, it's a meditation room for me because I wake up thinking about this stuff a lot. And so 6 years ago, and I didn't remember any of these videos. I vaguely remembered, people had said, some nice things like sorry about that. But I watched them, and it really, really, really helped me in the here and now. There's this one. Well, this list came up. There was probably other ones. I know there was other ones. I remember some people did cut together, some images from my videos and stuff, and some guy found my private stuff, but he didn't dox me, but he used some of the images to make a nice comment. But this list came up, so these ones I'm showing you from this list, and I guess I might look for other ones. I don't know. I'm not really eager to find them all. That isn't what I was looking for. I was looking for this video that a couple of them linked to. This one that I had made about it,
All right.
because I was wondering what my message was, and it was interesting because I did have to go, oh yeah, I was supposed to do that. It's about service. It's about the only way to react to it is in service. You could commit suicide. You could do all kinds of things, but I mean, if you're gonna live and stuff and work with it, I made this link to service that I understand, but is not on my thought every day when I'm, you know, grinding my soup over this shit. Um, but really, I'm a little scared to watch one from Gary, but I think it was nice too. I mean, I did watch these five. I watched. I know because I put them in this list. One of them must have been video replies back then. Were there still video replies back then? Because it didn't have anything to do with her, but I was commenting and it's saying, "Oh, thanks. This is a Mela song." Must have attached it. I'm thinking, "Fuck with you two for taking that reply away." So this will probably be nice too. I was thinking of watching this one and broadcasting it. I don't know. I don't mean right now, but I mean I was just thinking about that as a concept. Um, I rewound these to get thumbnails, but yeah. Um, so there's not. It's not regret. It's like a feeling like an ennui. I want to call that a ennui, but it's not that, of course, at all. But it's like a feeling like that about. I've always said we are colleagues here in having this discussion ears, the public dialogue. And we have a similar hobby, like we're skateboarders, and we end up congregating in the same places, where there's skateboard routes, bowls and parks and stuff. And we kind of have to get along, but we can also be gangish and have a little gangs, little skateboard gangs. And, we're not friends. And I always kind of thought, well, I'm going to put a sharp line of like, you have to meet someone in person. So that was kind of bullshit, especially as we became more and more electronic. And there's people that are like, well, 5,000 miles away. I met one friend that I'm online, so that I could consummate the friendship. But they were, even if they were 2,000 miles away, it was like a coincidence I could go there, but not all the way over to, Thailand or whatever. So that was kind of a bullshit, but there's also sort of some truth to it that and even if you meet someone once, that's just a technicality. So, but then friendship always has that. Even if you meet a friend in local space, you never totally know. Friendship's unfolding long term thing. So I still feel correct that unfolding thing While it obviously can happen online, there's no, the online is happening in the physical world. But it's also limited by what kind of contact you have, which includes, well, do you ever meet in person? How many different kinds of mode of contact do you have and whatnot, almost in a mathematical way. Um, we're colleagues. Friendship can happen online, but I still believe that, we're colleagues, that it's a better metaphor because it's not a metaphor. It's like, no, that's literally what we are. It's like, we're colleagues. We're like people that show up at the same university. We teach different classes, but we have to interact. Or we're staff at the same cafe. Or, we're colleagues. We need to figure out just enough to work together on what we're doing. And in our case, it's very much like academic. It's like, well, we're talking on subjects. I have 5 subjects. You have 5 subjects. 2 of them overlap. We talk about those 2 sometimes. I talk about the other 3 with these guys, right? And that's a collegial relationship, and there's a nobility to respecting that the limits on my behavior are nothing specific. It's not about whether I can cuss, what kind of jokes I can make. There's no limit on a free speech kind of basis of topics, but there's kind of like whatever it takes. I don't know, this is what we're looking into. You can't insult them too much, or in this way, or in that way, or that's too much, or whatever. And it's person by person. And that's just how it is in a workplace. It's like, to work with this person, I can make a few jokes about this, but not that. With this person, just be all serious, no jokes. And with this person, you know, and they have to do the same thing. So when you get it wrong and don't get a perfect way to, here's what I can do, you're both working at it. And that's a beautiful thing because, in a way, friends get to be more picky. Like, hey, I'm more sensitive than that and you hurt my feelings. Whereas a coworker or a colleague, is a little bit more like, when it comes down to that, you can't expect it's not your mother or your best intimate sleepover friend, which is a good thing for what we do because just friends that are like, it's the most important thing to me is never hurt your feelings. After that, I also want to talk to you about stuff. That would not help the discussioneers. The discussioneers need to have more. No, the point is to get that information out, and then we'll react and make sure we can all, emotionally handle what's happened. And so I still believe that, but I also have this. Again, it's not ennui at all because that's a totally different thing. But kind of this: is there a problem or not? I don't know. It's not boredom, but I'm feeling angsty. I got to do something. There's this kind of feeling about, wait, collegiality is related to friendship. You need to admit the friend. Don't, you're shielding from them, or they both happen at once. I still don't know. I'll never know. I'll never know. I'm 51. I don't even want to know what this. It's enough to know that this is one of the things I never figured out exactly. Um, I like friendship. I like collegial, colleague groups. Let's call it that, colleague groups. And there's a weird division, and I'm probably wrong. They're part of the same thing. They can, because I know they can both happen. You could be colleagues and then develop a regular friendship. And suddenly you spent, Christmas together with your families for 40 years. And, but you can also be colleagues, never do that, and be really love that other person, right? But you can also be like, well, we debated for years, but I didn't like his ideas and he didn't like mine, and I thought his ideas made him a bad person. He thought mine made me, it could be that way, or we thought we were nice persons, but we didn't get along, or I thought he was a terrible person, but we got along great. All of every permutation, right? All the options happen, and I don't understand the principle. I feel maybe that in the 13 years I've been on YouTube, I rejected the friendship idea maybe more than I should. And I probably rejected the necessity to be kind and friend. I mean, I personally tried to be kind and friendly, but sometimes people blow up at you, and I just let myself react. It's like I felt, well, the other person's setting the tone. They want this thing. It's just like when you're hanging out with people, a little bit and they're feeling friendly or a party or something, you might tease people a little bit if they're the kind of people that think that's funny and get a big laugh out about it. And you tease you back, and it's like, oh, good one, and everybody gets it. But if people are like, oh, sensitive, I don't, then you don't want to do that and you got to feel it out, right? So on here, um, I think I erred a little bit on the hey, the internet's about getting a tough skin. Again, I still vouch for that this is a big factor in the internet. The internet communication, public dialogue can help teach you how to, or just condition you, but hopefully teach you how to have a thicker skin and be resilient, which is not just about you being protected, but also that gives other people the freedom to have their feelings, their ideas, so that when you guys come in contact, you can both handle it. You've got thick skins. You can taste the flavor of that conflict without being like blown away, and your skin it can't handle it. The skin is blown away, and then you're exposed to your internal organs. No, you want to have thick skin, so it can be a good thing, but it's also just bullshit because, as we could see from the current generation of edge lords, uh, like I'm watching Sargon run for UKIP for MEP, and it's like it was glorious. I totally annoyed them, and I triggered the libs. And then also he's debating people in the streets. Why are you so upset? Why are you so upset? I'm just trying to piss you off on purpose, and I succeeded. Why are you so upset? Why are you so upset for? I was just trying to make you upset. I only said that. It's a joke. Oh, really? What's the punchline? Well, it was meant to make you upset, and now you're upset. Yes, I am upset. Well, what are you upset for? Because you said an inflammatory thing designed to make me upset, and now you're mad. You see the logic? Yeah, you made me mad on purpose. One of the easiest things in the world to do. And now I'm mad at you. And now you feel like my attitude towards you isn't fair. Yeah, the I'm mad at you attitude is famous for not being fair. Who could have seen that coming? So, anyway, the point is impeachment. All right, comment. And anti-Gaia. Wouldn't impeachment just be a waste of money at this point? I seriously doubt that Trump is going to be reelected. No, because it's a matter of law and order. It's a matter of public record. Let me put it even that way. Like a Truth and Reconciliation Commission, even. Like, for example, I don't believe people should be able to be pardoned unless they've had the trial. The trial has to happen. The information has to go on the public record. The most reliable record we have outside of scientific data of what's going on in this big emotional world of justice and injustice, that which actually happened, so it could also be judged later and as part of history, is the public record, a governmental record, which is not to say that the records are impartial. They are put down with partiality and the bigoted prejudices of their time or whatever that Supreme Court ruling, but they are committed and they can be judged later on. And the reasoning can be judged and how solid it is and whether even if it's perverse, it has a perverse logic or really it was a stretch. We can make those judgments with accuracy based on criteria uh, as the criteria evolve through time. So the future criteria is not necessarily better. Hopefully, it's progressing. But whether it's better or worse, just if the values change, it has been recorded enough to be judged. And that's what we have to do. If a president is going to refuse congressional oversight, that's in the Constitution. Me, I'm a day one impeachment person because I believe the not receiving payment other than your salary as president is important. You cannot do that. I'm sorry, as the president, you can control the whole tabletop, the whole ocean that the boats rise or fall on. You can't have a big business on that ocean because then you're going to have to worry about that business, even if it was subconscious. But obviously, it would most likely be conscious if you weren't some sort of a fucking idiot. You'd realize your policy decisions on an empire like that. And you cannot be getting millions from Saudis and Japanese and whomever wants to stay at your hotel. Oh, but it's everybody, so it's a cross section. No, it's not actually everybody, and you can't do that. Oh, but it should be okay. Look, we want to have an international businessman as our president. So, well, then you have to change the fucking constitution before you can do that. Or he has to give up his business. The fucking constitution says you can't get those kind of payments from other people. You can't get that kind of payment from in the United States either. You know what the Constitution specifically says, not in an amendment, but the Constitution, that you can't get paid anything else by the government. So you can't take the government to your property, get rooms for all your security and your aides, and pay bar tabs, and that money goes back to you into your business. It doesn't say you can't get it if it's a bribe. That would just be, well, you can't get bribed. You could get money. You could get gifts as long as it's not. No, it doesn't say that. The president is super powerful, you see, so it has a super special requirement that you just can't get those kind of gifts at all. If the Queen of England wants to make you a knight and you are Sir Obama, you can't accept that unless the Congress specifically says that you can. So that started day one and throughout his whole family. So they need to be prosecuted. And not just that, probably this, I couldn't hope that this will happen because the Democrats are such shitheads and there's a protection of all rich people. But all of these other people should be prosecuted. And after Trump leaves, they should totally open up prosecution on him without protection. And at the very least, even if they say, oh, the president, you got to get gloves. Okay, maybe they don't want the nuclear reactor to blow up. Maybe there's something I don't know. Okay, if that's true, though, they should be prosecuted once he's out. But see, I'm biased. I think that Bush and, like I say, every president should be prosecuted for these war crimes, even the dead ones. Even if it's a truth and reconciliation thing where when we convict a president, nothing's supposed to happen to him. We just want it on record that even Obama was a fucking war criminal. Every fucking president, even fucking Carter, they've all tortured, broken Geneva Conventions, things that were against our laws. I'm not saying, oh, they had slaves when it was legal. That's a war crime. No, I'm talking about things that were considered war crimes in their own time, like Theodore Roosevelt making the illegal deals um, with countries without telling Congress or reporting things and shenanigans all around the world. The whole history. Sorry to tell you. Sorry. It's just the truth. And if you can't be patriotic and face the truth about your country, you're not really patriotic. You're a fair weather friend. You have to live in a fucking fantasy world to love your country like it would have to be perfect like you thought and were told. And under God could go fuck itself. It was put on the fucking money and in the Pledge of Allegiance in the 50s, and fuck it. Okay, I'm not under God. My nation isn't under God. I prefer the 180 years where the Constitution was respected until these fucking racists in the 20s and 30s and on started putting up their fucking racist traitor fucking statues and their bullshit under God on the fucking money, and fuck you guys. And we've had enough of you.